Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, it is a sound like no other when they raise that 12th man flag here in Seattle. We just heard it, and that means it's time for football at CenturyLink Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5.
And the offense, my goodness, over 50 points in the win last weekend. When you do that, you're not going to lose very many games, maybe not any games.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And I'll bet right now there's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions,
no,
right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's 2nd down.
We talked about prior to the game, and it played out right there on the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have his hands full all night long.
You often speak of scripts to start a game. Does this mean that play number 2, they're going to go off the script a little bit?
Yeah, what's interesting is that most people, when they script now, they actually script those contingencies in, okay, in case they can't run the play they want to. It's long distance now. Let's go to that play.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them, in a sense, and gotten the ball from them.
Go! 18 Gators. Defense wins championship, baby. Hey, wahoo!
On 1st and 10, Sewell completes it to Davis. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. 2nd and 1. Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll pull it down. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run. Well, Charles, in the past, a lot of people called this offense one-dimensional.
I think you did.
Well,
I think it was you.
I'll be honest, I did. I think the fan base is hoping with this young rookie that they can put some wrinkles in this offense like we just saw.
I think you're exactly right, because we did have that discussion that what we've seen in the past from them, they needed to broaden, and they have done it here. Look at what he's bringing to their offense, and now as a defensive coordinator, you've got some extra work to do to prepare for him and their offense.
3 yards is the gain that time, 2nd and goal. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's second and goal.
Mike 54. Mike 54. Come on. 54.
Second and 3. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. N'Keal Harry, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive, 4 plays. And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 to score as they start 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Now a throw left sideline here is complete. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. From the gun on third down, Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And he will bring this one back. It's a fumble return for the 49er touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On second and a yard, Wilson. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf. His first touchdown on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get him in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed, because let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. This is taken at the 3. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And And San Francisco gets set to go here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to have the hook up here with Harry. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
The throw down the field, caught by his running back. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 15 for the Niners there and a first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Looking to throw. Sewell. They'll set up a screen for Breida. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 13 yards there and a Niner first.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got a bike. Oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Taco Charlton. He's the culprit, dropping him for a 2-yard loss. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Derek Barnett able to maneuver in for the sack.
But no takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to let this go for the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. On 4th down, Sewell. And this is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. I've seen, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here. 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. A look now at the starters on this 49er defense. They were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
And the big thing for them was the interceptions. And you hear teams all the time talk about establishing themselves against the pass. No-fly zones, things of that nature. This group had a bunch of them in last week's game.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. That makes him now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. So here are the Niners to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. McKay. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. The numbers for him from a week ago. 7 carries, 109 yards.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Back to throw. Sewell. It's caught by Davis.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long?
Man, I got you. Man, I got you.
Operating from the gun. Sewell. Looking left side. He's got it. Complete. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Let's just make this one simple. Could he be any more open than he was on that play?
Yeah, they lost him going to the outside.
Hard to believe because you go through your accounting on each and every defensive snap. Who's got who, what defense you're in. That was totally a blown coverage.
Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late-game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19. And defensive back Jamal Adams in on the stop.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Throwing again. Sewell. Catch is made by Harry. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Well, a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
He'll try and throw for it here. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 21 yards there. A big play on 4th down. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Looking to throw. Sewell. That'll be complete to Breida. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. First down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and this is what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together.
Let's go, boys. Let's go. Come on, set. 60 out, long. Hey, exit.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player. You threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, and it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown, 49ers. From 8 yards out, and the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Well, Charles, you said it after the fourth down stop. That's almost guaranteed points the other way, and that comes to fruition with the touchdown.
Well, the unnecessary risk did come back to haunt them, didn't it? End up getting the...
Caught by number 12. Touchdown, San Francisco. The kicker on for the extra point.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes it a 21-10 game. That time, a 9-play drive. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Here we go.
Chris Carson trotting back out there. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? And all the way down inside the 25 before he gets out of bounds. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 52 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. This is Carson. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
All day, dog.
Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. Wilson throwing quickly out to Lockett. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. His first catch, good for 16 and a first.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play. And sometimes it can break big.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. To throw is Wilson. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Nick Bosa, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and that'll make this an 8-point game. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
That's fielded in the end zone. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
A good pickup there, a 22.
50, plant.
On first down, Sewell. He's going to air one out. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. 36 yards on the play.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Back to throw. Sewell to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. 2nd and goal. Here's 2nd and 8. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. 1:55 left to go in the first half of play. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. He'll get this into the hands of Breida. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. They come out here in the eye. A field goal would make it a 2-score game, but they're going to go aggressive. They're going to try this thing on 4th and goal.
Right there, 54, right there, 54 Mike. Let's go one more.
Hey, team 6, team 6.
On 4th down, Sewell. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. As his guys are in for 6. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Chris Carson trotting back out there. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. And at his size, Cohen lost the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Following the fumble recovery, Sewell. Got a man open, that's Harry. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. And a nice gain of 21 yards. This quarterback now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A good pickup there on first as the screen pass gets him 8.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. 2nd and 2. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. On 3rd and 2, Sewell. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. From 4 yards out, and the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
So whatever happened to rookie quarterbacks taking time to adjust to life in the NFL? Because this guy looks like he's been doing it for about, 7 years? 4 touchdown passes? That's not something rookies are supposed to be doing with the ease in which he's doing it.
Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. And he completes it to Cohen. And that play goes nowhere. He's met behind the line, and a penalty flag may add insult to injury. Well, they completed the pass but lost yardage, so they'll decline the penalty.
Perfect play for them, isn't it? Who needs a penalty when you try and throw the ball, you don't even get it downfield, and they go ahead and snuff out the play. They'll take that as a result.
Now Wilson on second down. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. So we reach halftime in what's been... And just like that, on we head to half number 2. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get this just up past the 20, but a marker is down. Let's get the call. Yeah, this is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
They go play action here on first down. Looking for Harry. He airs it out deep. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. They get the former number 6 overall pick, Quentin Nelson, out of Notre Dame that time.
15 line. 15 line. 54. Loaded. Big grip.
Here's Burrito. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. And credit the tackle to Taco Charlton with a stop.
Ready. 30 base.
Looking to throw on second down. Sewell. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Bobby Wagner coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. And they won't get a chance to bring this one back. It goes out of bounds, back near their own 20. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the 3rd. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Come on, boy. You better be ready.
They'll run on second down with Cohen. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Oh, and the hard count might have got him. This might be a first down. Jumping all the way from the outside, maybe getting a little early start in the corner blitz.
And the only time it makes sense to get that penalty is exactly as you described. Otherwise, he should never get that penalty.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Keanu Neal with a safety blitz for the sack.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. On second down, it's Cohen. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Third and long, it's Wilson. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. From the 34 now, here's first and 10.
Right here.
Now a handoff here to his running back. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be second and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's second and 8. Looking to throw. Sewell. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a third and 8. Back to throw. Sewell. Completes it to Davis.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down, a run with Breida. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
From the 24, they'll go again on second and 10. To throw again, Sewell. This one caught by Davis. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Here we go. 18 Gator. 55. Watch the screen. 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 5. Blitz.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Hey, wahoo!
To throw on second down. Sewell. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
First and second down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. Looking to throw. Sewell. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Hey, Haywood!
Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike. Hey, I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Tight dog.
Hey, Sam off!
On 4th down, Sewell. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. N'Keal Harry, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Wow, talk about a big 4th down conversion for the score. Defensively, how do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for it and having that type of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
And out now come the Seahawks. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Wilson. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. They'll try to run for it with Cohen. And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. The 30, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Tariq Cohen, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks are able to close the gap just a bit. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
This is taken about 7 yards deep.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. First down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
He's going to float this one deep right side. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
From the gun, Sewell. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Here's Wilson. The screen pass here to Cohen. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
First target, first catch, and a first down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that on your side.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And the pressure gets to him again.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Despite a pickup of 16, they're still well short of the sticks on 4th.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. Now they... Go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting.
And he's going to go down again.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Taco Charlton, his second sack of the night. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
That's a 49-yard punt, 8, though, on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind, it's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes about him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
They try again with Cohen. And he's got this one across midfield into 49er territory. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. And that gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st down, Wilson. Short throw to Disley. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson, quick hitter here, it's complete. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. Now it's Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. Here's Wilson to throw.
One hallmark.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turning over 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing, but I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
They'll set up a screen for Breida. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Ready to break. 55.
Tighten up, tighten up. Pull it together.
Snap.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Past the 20. And a little bit of a consolation prize there. He's into the end zone.